Yo, it's the KIDHYPHEN, the Kid Hype.
Hey MJ fan, this is For Christ.
Hey, this is MJ Love.
And you are listening to the Moonwalker Chat Podcast.
The only place to be if you're a real Michael Jackson fan.
And you tuned in with the Moonwalkers Chat Podcast.
And this is a place to be if you're a real Michael Jackson fan.
What's going on, Moonwalker fam? What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's April 11th, 2021, and we are back with another episode. What's going on, everybody? I see everybody has popped up and joined us. Let's see who's out there. Let's see. April, Sandy, Kathy, Janessa, I see. 4 of you commented, but 7 of you are here. Hope everybody is doing well this fine Sunday afternoon. Yeah, so let's get started. But Dove, what's going on with you? How's it going, homie?
Everything's good on this end. How's everybody else doing? I know you've been great. you were Michaeling yesterday, so I know that you're doing good.
Yeah, that was really fun. I mean, I love it when I go to visit my family, and the first thing they do is we either cook, laugh and joke, or play Michael Jackson.
Or all of the above, right?
Yeah, all of the above. And my brother started playing every Michael Jackson video, and we're standing outside the house watching it. And we sitting there trying to do the dances to remember the time, doing the dance to Black and White. That was too funny, though. I had a good time yesterday. I mean, that was really nice. It was always nice to go Michaeling.
Very nice.
I know, no face today because my face is horrible today. I'm joking. Yeah. No, I'm
Same
like,
here.
No, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I got home after 12 a.m. last night, and I look like I haven't slept. So I don't want to look like I haven't slept on camera, but I know my energy will definitely be up during this show. But yeah, I got in a little late last night. I mean, I stayed out at my family's house all day yesterday. It was really nice to get to see everybody, get to see my grandmother, my brother, my mother. You know, I don't get to see them that often, so I had a good time and I hung out a little late. So forgive me, people.
Hey, Janesta. Hey, Kathy.
Hello, everybody. I see you. I see you.
You got to do the grunts now. Thank you.
Oh,
what's up, MG?
Oh, Lord. I gotta throw it in there. Oh, Lord. I know, right?
Yeah, I can't do the hiccup. There you go.
You gotta pull that air in. You gotta pull the air all the way. I can't do it. I'm kind of cotton mouthed. Somebody get me some water, please. Oh man, what's going on? Oh man, but yes, happy Sunday, everybody. I hope all is well with you all. Oh man,
don't start them grunts. April says we gotta. I mean, if we're Michaeling, the grunts are part of the show.
Yeah, grunts are official part of the show.
Yes.
The grunts, the hiccups. Yes. I can't do that one though. Yeah, I'm a little dry with that. My voice is too low for that one. I tried and I failed. Oh man. Yes, rest in heaven, Earl, aka DMX. We're gonna speak about him later. We definitely are. But to start off, I've gotten so many messages asking where last week's episode. Not last week, 2 weeks ago, where we had our Moonwalkers chat panel. That was our very first panel of 5 of us from the Moonwalker community, which was awesome. It was great to see all the different Moonwalkers and their points of view about different things that are regarding Michael. It was really cool. But what happened is, uploading that episode, originally there was a file corruption, and I still have not had the time to re-edit the episode. So I'm going to end up editing it as audio only and re-upload it for those of you who missed it, because I'm seeing a lot of you want to see the episode, and we're going to be putting that episode up. But it's going to end up being audio only because I don't know what's going on with the video encoder. But we will figure that out later on. But I said in order to get it back up, it must be audio only. Not only that, we got messages about the episode itself, some good and some bad. And I'm like, geez, let us be. Come on. We all have our bad days.
Yeah. People suck. That's what it is.
And I'm like, come on now. We have our bad days. We have our good days. And some people suck and don't realize when we have our bad and good days.
Right. And, you know, the disrespect towards you was too much, though. I mean, that was, you know, the right call. Like, you know what? Ban everybody who was disrespectful, who does not want to hang with you since, you know, you said, oh, I support, you know, the LGBTQ community, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
So
that was
that just shows how ignorant people are still, you know, till this day. It just goes beyond me. But, you know, it's whatever.
I mean, it's to be expected, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, the negativity that came out of me saying so, I say, you know what? Fuck you. I don't care. Excuse my mouth. I know it's offensive. Forgive me. That's how I felt. Because I'm like, are you kidding me?
Hey.
I'm like, you can't tell me what I can and can't support because you choose to not. I mean, that's like me telling you because you eat steak or you eat pork and I don't, I'm judging you for that. I'm not saying anything about anything that anybody does or anything I choose to do. It should not reflect anybody else. And I don't know if it would affect you, then obviously something's not right.
Exactly. So, we got MJ gracing us today. Hi.
Oh wow,
MJ.
He's back. Welcome back. MJ.
Hi, Natalie.
Oh man, what's going on to everybody who's just joining? I see there's 9 of you here, but it increases as we go along. But yeah, let's just get started anyway. I mean, besides all of the negativity that came out of that episode, which was totally uncalled for, to those of you who don't want to hear what we have to say on the show or what I guess have to say, please don't watch.
Exactly. You know, move on.
Exactly. Like, we're not for the foolishness. I mean, we're all open to dialogue about conversations of the episode, but to be completely insulting, we're not for that. No way, no how.
Thank you, Natalie. People need to mind their own business. Yes, indeed.
Said you was very busy. Yeah, I remember you saying so, and you just got a new phone or something that day. Say, give extra love to the block button. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to do. A lot more. Banned for life.
I love it.
Banned
for life. Oh, here we go again.
Banned. I swear I'll ban them for life. I'm not joking. People need to mind there's beeswax. Exactly. But I'm like, it's whatever. But I'm used to that. You know, it happens in everyday life with nonsense that nobody has time for. But anyways, let's just jump into something light. Now, recently, and I told Dove that I was doing this, I had posted stuff to my Instagram and Facebook story. Facebook, nobody really answered because nobody really pays my Facebook any attention because I'm rarely on it. So they're like, why are we answering this? But on Instagram, you know, I'm a little more active. I don't know. Instagram is easier, guys. I don't know. It's something about Instagram. But I posted 4 different questions for viewers of the show to answer, so that way we could see where their heads are at. So let's see. Let's go to the first one. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you guys can look along as we go. And we share. Dove, are you here with me?
Yes.
You're like, why are you singing again? Stop the damn singing. No, I'm joking.
I do
Like,
not say that. I think your singing is wonderful. And since MJ is in the chat, I have to do it.
does my singing bring you wonderment? I need to know. Does my singing bring you wonderment?
Wonderment, yes.
No, but the first question I had posted, I don't know why it ended up in this order, but I'll read which ones I started with first. Now, the first one I asked was, are you supportive of the LGBTQ community? 89% of you said yes, and 11% of you said no. And I was surprised with the amount of people that said they were supportive after the amount of negative messages I had gotten. And I was just like, wait a minute. Okay, what's going on here? Like, where's all the hatred coming from when we're all about love, peace, and harmony on this podcast? I know I've had my shitty days where I went off and went off the tangent and said, some off the wall things. We all do at times, but whatever. But I was like, wow, 89% out of 11% that said they do support and don't support. The next question that I had asked was, oh man, will you continue to wear masks after COVID is gone? And 79% says that they won't wear masks after it's gone, and 21% said that they will. That's a high percentage. I mean, like regarding that, I don't know if you feel the same way, Dove. Even after it's gone, I'm still gonna want to wear masks maybe for a year longer past the the expiration date of COVID. But I mean, what do you think?
Oh, even if they say and they bring out the big cannons and there's fireworks and the whole shebang and they say, "Oh, we finally got rid of Rona," I am still gonna wear my mask. I am still gonna, carry my what is it? Not alcohol, the thing, the
The
gel.
sanitizer?
Thank you. Yes. I'm steering clear from people. I'm not mixing and mingling with nobody. I'm sorry. No, I don't trust it. I mean, the same way it got here, that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
The day that it quote unquote disappears is gonna be just as weird. So I'm that's a no for me. I'm gonna stay wearing my mask. Yes.
I think I'm gonna keep my mask on maybe a year or two after they say, "Oh, well, it's not around anymore." How do you know for sure?
Right.
I'm just like stuck on that one. But I also had asked on social media, now that now that a COVID vaccine is available, will you get the vaccine injection? 56 said yes. Wait, 46 said yes, and 56 said no. I know a couple of people so far that have gotten it. Some of my relatives have gotten it, and originally there was two strands of vaccine. There was the Pfizer and what was the other one? Oh my goodness.
AstraZeneca.
I think so. I don't know off the top of my head. I forgot. I had it in the back of my
Right.
mind. And then recently I heard that there was one from Johnson and Johnson. So I'm like, where are all these? I don't know. I'm still not trusting any random injections. It's gonna be me just having to play it safe. I'm not telling anyone to not get any of these precious vaccines that they're giving out, but me personally, and I've said this to my own family, I don't think I'm gonna let them inject that into my body. I can't. It makes me nervous. I mean, Dove, like, what about you? Now that the vaccines are available, are you considering taking one or no? If
I don't
you
know.
are or aren't, you don't have to respond because I know that's a little personal. A lot of people don't want to
No,
talk
it's
about.
okay. No, it's okay. I mean, I'm open to, talk about stuff, that. But I feel kind of like wishy-washy about it because I know that they're not making it like you have to take the vaccine. But if
Yeah.
then again, if you don't, you're probably gonna be banned from a lot of places, like maybe supermarkets. And they already announced here in Spain on the news, if after the vaccine, like when they have the let's say the biggest amount of people already vaccinated, and there's still, let's say, a percentage left, and the cases are still building or coming or appearing, or people are still dying from or due to quote unquote COVID, that they're gonna make it
Right.
like they're gonna obligate you to take it. So if I, in my case, I have a son, I have a 12-year-old son, I have a 73-year-old mom. So I'm kind of like the only person that goes outside and could potentially bring back something home, right? I don't want to have that
Right.
on my conscience. So
I understand that.
if I right, so if I have to, like, if they're gonna ban people from supermarkets and doing your daily stuff, I guess I'll have to take it and leave it in the hands of God.
Oh wow. Henry Louise says she almost lost a business partner because of the vaccine. Is that because he took the vaccine or because he didn't get the vaccine? Either way, I guess that's scary though.
It is very scary. I mean, I know a couple of people who are close to me that got the vaccine. My
Yeah.
uncle and my aunt got their vaccine, and they're above 80.
Mm-hmm.
They both were vaccinated with Pfizer. They got it like 2 weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
and they had no side effects. They only had a little bit of pain in their arm, where they got shot, but
Yeah.
no fevers, no weird stuff. And as soon as they reached like the end of this month, they would
Mm-hmm.
be well, according to the doctor, they would be 95, no, 94 or 95% covered against COVID, and even the let's say the other version, the Brazilian version of COVID,
Right.
the mutations, they would be yeah, protected from that one too. MD Love got her vaccine and she's doing okay.
That's
So
what it
I
was.
don't know.
Well, I said Pfizer, I think. Said she took it and
Yes.
she's good so far. I mean, my aunts
There you
have
go.
said that they've taken it and they're fine. They just felt pain, slight tiredness after, but nothing major. But I'm still, I guess I'm just me. I'm weary about it. Henry Louise says he took the vaccine and wound up in the ER. Wow.
Yeah, I gotta gone back on that particular thing because it has to do with um the subject that we're going to talk about later on about DMX, rest in peace. But
I know.
I learned something that potentially could be, not was what was reported. But we'll come back on that.
Well, the very last question I had asked on the social media poll was, what was your favorite Michael Jackson album? And it between Dangerous and Thriller, and it was split down the middle. And I was like, what? I was like, wow. I don't know. I was expecting one to win more than the other, but for some odd reason, it was split right down the middle, 50-50. So I said, the
Wow.
MJ fans is split down the middle here. I was like, okay, I see you. And it made me think, like, which one would I pick out of the two if I had to choose myself? And I did say that I would choose Dangerous. I would choose Dangerous, even though I love the hell out of Thriller, but I would choose Dangerous if I had to make one choice between the two of them. I would definitely pick Dangerous. What about you? I don't know. Do you have a pick, Doug? What about you guys watching?
Oh my God.
Dangerous or Thriller? Comment down below. Like, seriously.
I don't know. I don't know if I voted on that one. But if you ask me like now on the spot, Thriller or Dangerous, I like both of them.
Uh-huh.
Dangerous would definitely, of course, my mind goes to the way he looked in Dangerous. Sorry. So I would pick Dangerous over Thriller, but then again, Thriller is iconic on its own, and maybe maybe without Thriller, there wouldn't be Dangerous. So it's kind of like, I don't know. No, I'm not voting. I'm not playing. I don't want to play.
It's kind of hard to pick. I was like, wait, why would I do that to the fans? I was like, why would I ask them to choose? Because it's MJ. You cannot choose one thing, MJ. You have to choose all things MJ. I was like, Mr. P, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? You can't just pick one MJ song or one MJ album and just be like, okay, this is my favorite here. I know how hard it was. So they was probably like, decisions. What's going on here? Like, and here we are, split at 50-50 between Thriller and Dangerous. But that's an even number. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. Is Thriller still number one? Actually, I can look that up.
I think it still is. I think
he is
it still holds.
Yeah. I'll go with Dangerous.
Dangerous.
I couldn't choose.
There we go.
See, I was like, decisions. It's kind of hard to pick. I'm not going to deny that one, but I ended up having to select Dangerous if I had to choose. Even though I love the Thriller album, I mean, you got damn near the whole album of Thriller. There was not a song on there that I would skip. I would listen to the entire album front to back, not skipping one song.
Okay, so why would you pick between Dangerous and Thriller?
It was something about the Dangerous album. I don't know. It was something about the Dangerous album growing up and then me being obsessed with the Dangerous poster. And if you notice that my icon that I did originally on YouTube was me doing the Dangerous eye pose. And yeah, I was kind of obsessed with that album. I don't know what it was. And I used to drive everybody crazy, especially when my mother brought me my stereo. I would run Black and White in the ground over and over and over. And it's like, I'm a black and white shoe. Turn that off already. Even though they listened to him too, I ran it in the ground more than everybody else. I don't know what it was about that album, but I really ran that ragged until the CD did not work anymore.
Wow.
That's bad, I know. The CD was not working. It had so many scratches from rewinding certain parts. And then if I'm practicing one of MJ's dance moves that he did from one of the videos on his, short films on his album, you know, if I messed up trying to practice the dance, I'd rewind the CD knowing that you should never rewind the CD because it could end up scratched up, nick marks all in it. It's not going to work. That happened to me because I used to rewind the damn CD like a fool. I've done research and I've just still feel like that I don't want to do it regarding that vaccine. I just don't know. I mean, and one of the things that I keep getting is, oh, well, you got vaccines as a child, not by choice. As an adult, I can make the decision to say no. But who knows, as time goes on, my mind may change once I see that there's totally no side effects behind any of it. But so far, so good. I haven't heard anything. But currently, I just need to see more before I accept this vaccination. That's one of my favorites, too, from the album. Give it when I want it, because I'm on fire, taking me higher. What? You're an anti-vaxxer? I'll still have the tape of Dangerous. The tape that I have is the bad tape. That's the only tape I actually have. No vax for you either. I wouldn't. Oh my goodness, no way. I couldn't. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for, of course, the episode 33 discussion and the polls that came right after we did episode 33, episode 37. And I know it's been like 2 weeks, and I meant to also explain to our viewers that over the last 2 weeks, I've been training for this position that I had taken, and it's been keeping me busy. So I haven't really had time to edit. So you guys seen the most recent video on my channel about our podcast, our minisodes. Dove created that. She's been creating most of the minisodes and keeping the minisode game going. I love it though. That was a good minisode that you did.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I
I don't
always
know.
assumed, Dove, that those were water glasses or something, or bottles or something. I just didn't know, and I didn't know who did it because I never was one when I was younger. When I would see these albums to read album credits, I never really did that until I was a lot older, and I honestly was not aware that Sheila E. had anything to do with that particular sound that MJ used in some of his earlier records.
Right. Yeah. And even bringing in little Janet and Jackie and Randy to pop on the bottles until Quincy was like, you know what? We need to get this thing down. This sound, the sound has to come out. So he called in the help of Sheila E. I didn't know that she was nicknamed the Queen of Percussion either. I know she's a badass percussionist, but I
Yeah.
didn't know. So this was a interesting lesson for me. Even though I saw that Janessa did already know, she was aware of the whole thing. I was like, wow. But it's always cool to learn new stuff.
It is. I love it. You learn something new every day, and I say it. Like I've always said on our show that I never pretend to know everything Michael Jackson. There's things that I learn along the way from you. There's things I learn along the way from them because despite I research, it's not like I'm gonna have every single key fact down pat. I don't try to pretend that I'm like Mr. MJ Know It All.
There's no way though to know every single thing. This guy knows so much and he did so many things, and even things that you would think in your head like, no, he wouldn't, would he? But yeah, he would.
He damn sure would. But wow, that was genius though. I mean, man, the sounds that MJ actually came up with, and you had also mentioned in the video, that was around the time that he started doing grunts and his
Yeah.
ad libs that he was putting into his
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, and Don't Stop Till You Get Enough was the very first song where he tried, the high pitch and the squealing as it was quoted in the story, the squealing and the screams and the stuff that he did.
Yeah.
And after that, he was like, "Oh, this kind of works. It makes people go crazy. Okay, let's go with it."
Ooh! When he does that at the beginning, the squeal.
Oh my God, it works.
I
It
can't do
definitely
it.
works. Can you imagine hearing that live? Everybody going crazy, nuts.
That would be interesting though. Wow. Oh, now there's another topic that I had watched it before, but I don't remember watching it until you brought it back up to me about the man who was MJ's butler in Bahrain and some of what he
Yeah,
said in that video.
Mr. Papu,
Was what the heck is his name again?
Mr. Papon, but people call him Papo because his YouTube channel is called Papon TV.
Oh,
I don't know.
Backbone. Oh, let me see if I can go to it really fast. That would be interesting. So they could see who he is because I didn't actually put his picture up like I should have, and I deserve to be knocked silly for it. But you know how I do. Even if I'm last minute, I'll find it because we message a lot. We gotta go back. But there's this 20-minute video on his YouTube channel. It's called Michael Jackson's Personal Butler Confesses the Real King of Pop. And let me just open it up on the screen so you guys can see who it is and what we're talking about. Remove that. Remove. Share the screen real fast. Where are you, Mr. Pepone? Here it is. Aki.
Yes.
This is who we're referring to. He has a YouTube channel, and he did a video about Michael Jackson and him being his personal butler in Bahrain. But you had told me that he's from the Filipinos, right?
He's Filipino, yeah.
So how did he end up in Bahrain? I'm wondering, unless he traveled there to work for MJ or what. Do you have any idea? Or
Tourism world, I know how that goes.
yeah,
Next day you could be in Jamaica, you know. But I mean, if you were at that particular hotel at that particular time, that could be possible, you know. But just
right.
the way he explains the story, for me personally, it's no. It's a no-go. Sorry, Mr.
You,
Papon, I don't believe you.
you don't believe his story?
No, I don't like it.
Like
No, I mean, no. Just
it's no
like
for
we
you.
were discussing before. No, because like we were discussing before we went live, like I don't know how many of
Mhm.
you have watched this interview, but I know Terry TJ has watched it. I don't know if anybody else has. You watched it, but just the way he said, "Oh, I would tell Michael." No, if you're part of the staff, you don't call him Michael. He's not your school buddy. It's Sir or Mr. Jackson, right?
Right.
And then him saying, "Oh, his favorite drink was Coke and Jack Daniels." I was like, "Huh?" And his favorite song, Private Dancer, to sing. Come on now.
Yeah. Apparently, MJ's favorite song to sing was Tina Turner's "Private Dancer." If you guys have never heard that song, please go look it up. Or do I need to sing the lyrics for you? Like,
God,
this man really said that
I'm your
MJ's favorite
private
song to sing
dancer.
was that, like, Dove. Seriously?
Dancer for mine. Do what you want me to do.
I'm your private dancer, dancing for money. Do what you want me to do. Can you? Then again, I can see MJ doing it with his das and grunts and private dancer, dancer for money. And then you want me to do.
Yo, that's funny. See, even MJ agrees with us. Think twice. There you go. Thank you.
Do think twice. Oh my goodness. I've never seen or heard it. I'll post a link to the video in the not the comment section, in the description box of this podcast once we're finished. So that way you guys can actually check it out. But yeah, it's interesting. Not only that, I think, and I'm not trying to drag him into our world, into the believers world as they call it, but I don't know why. I think he might be a believer, and he sounds like a believer with something that he said during this particular video, because I did tell you, like in the first few minutes of the video, where it had all of these random jump cuts, he was talking about MJ and talking about him not being around anymore and not wanting to come back and yada yada yada. And the way he was saying things was in the present tense, as if he was still here. And I'm like, wow, so is this another person tied to the believer community, but they're not acknowledging that that's what they are in their videos? But I'm gonna actually bring that up during my hoax chat, which will be coming soon. And trust me, you guys will not want to miss that. That's gonna be a good one.
Oprah's canceled. Wow.
Oh I know Tina's song. Michael actually is our dancer. He loves his fans so much. No, but we're saying though, Henry Louise, that we don't believe that this MJ was literally or while he was around. I'm just like, seriously? I don't know what it was. Wait, I saw an interview today with an Israeli actress that met Oprah in the 1990s. She said that basically Oprah is a hypocrite, as if we didn't know. Oh wow, more people. Wow, that's interesting though. Oprah is canceled. Multiple people have said Oprah is canceled. Wow.
I missed
Uh oh.
that one today.
Yeah. Say yes, Daryl. I heard that too. He said he's not coming back. Yeah. See, that's what I was talking about. And I was like, that sounds interesting. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna pay this a little more attention and see what can I find in this, because it just seems like he might be either a believer and not actually somebody who worked for MJ, because we know how, and I'm not discrediting the man because I don't know how true or credible his story is or isn't, but we know how it always happens where somebody pops up knowing MJ and not actually knowing him, if you get what I'm saying. It happens so much. So I'm like, you never know anymore. You see a video pop up. I worked for MJ. I'm his baby mama. Oh, I drove MJ around. Oh, I was his security guard, but then no one's ever heard of you. It's all these weird different things. Not even just one baby mama. What was it, like 5?
He has a lot of baby mamas.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. The stories keep increasing. This is just like Billie Jean. He wrote it because
Yeah.
it's not his son. You accused him. Come on. I would not come back either if I was him. Oh, hell no. I would not. I think you'd be surprised at what MJ would do. I mean, you would be surprised, but it's something about what this guy is saying that doesn't seem believable. Have you seen the video, Henry Louise? She said that she's fake crying on camera, but as soon as the camera is off, she ignored everyone. Wow.
Who's,
The same
who's
thing
she
that she
though?
did.
Oprah?
But Dove, if you remember, Oprah did the same thing to Michael when he was saying thank you to her, trying to grab her hand, and she just waved him off like, "Oh, goodbye," and walked off.
But I mean, who was fake crying?
I think she's referring to the Israeli actress,
Oh,
or is she talking about Oprah fake crying on camera in front of the Israeli actress?
I don't care if Oprah cries for real.
I believe MJ is building a rehabilitation hospital for children, the children being rescued. God protects him, trust God. The best is
The best
coming,
is
all for
coming,
you,
all
all
for
for
you,
love.
all for love. Oh,
That's really sweet.
oh, you have to do some grunts now, NJ. You do.
I haven't seen it, but I certainly plan to. I'm going to post a description if you haven't seen it for anybody that wants to watch it. Oh, so she said she was Oprah was fake crying.
Oh, well, Oprah can sock Michael's socks, like he said himself. Sock my socks.
Oh, good. And I can guarantee them socks probably get sweaty from all that dancing. So, yeah, and you can enjoy them socks, Oprah. Seriously. Oh
Yep.
man, that is too funny. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, well, we still haven't spoken about hip hop legend DMX.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, I'm really still shocked at him passing away. I mean, he was a major part of childhood for me, just like MJ was, and I'm just blown away. I mean, let me put him up on the screen for those of you who don't know who he is or isn't familiar with him. But Earl DMX Simmons, he is a hip hop artist from New York, like myself. So he's from New York, from the Yonkers area, and he passed away recently. I mean, God, I'm stuck right now.
Yeah, it's. I'll help you out a little bit. I'm still shocked. I knew that it was looking very bad after he was rushed to the hospital, due to him having a heart attack, and this is what I was coming back to with, regarding the vaccine. I learned today from our previous guest on the show, Fan Christ. He posted about it on his Facebook timeline, and he's a major DMX fan, so I take his word for it. Like, he probably knows more than I do. I know who DMX is, and he's part of, my, let's say, growing up, in the rap game. But the media, of course, said, "Oh, he overdosed. Oh, it's due to for a very long time. He was getting his he proposed to his fiance not too long ago. He was working on some projects, movie projects, music projects. So he was doing his thing. And according to Fanchrist, uh, DMX had the vaccine, a COVID vaccine, a couple of days or a couple of weeks before this happened to him. And according to what I've heard on the news here in Spain, I don't know how it is around the world, but here in Spain, the AstraZeneca got banned from the list, or they're trying to get it, out of the vaccine list because it provokes blood clots, and I mean, if that happened to him and it happened while he was asleep, that blood clot could easily have went to his heart, and he died of the heart attack due to the vaccine, not due to, the overdose, like the media was claiming.
I'm just really still in shock. Like at first, I was like, "Wow." I was like, "I hope everything is okay with him," because we know like what he's dealt with for a long time, and I mean, from understanding his history and knowing who he was, like he's dealt with so much from childhood up until adulthood. He was introduced to drugs and things at a young age, and I mean, he did dabble, and it happened. There's no denying that. There's no way, shape, or form to, skip around the fact that he did dabble in narcotics, but eventually stopping the narcotics still didn't help because in the long run they do have an effect on your body, and then certain medications and vaccines even they could affect you as well because of the
Mhm.
damage that was done to your body from what was done before. And
Yeah.
no matter what is out there publicly about him regarding drugs or anything like that, the one thing I did say that DMX always held on to was his faith. He was one of the most religious, and I hate to say this, like he was one of the most religious rappers there were, religious hip hop artists, because
Mhm.
anyone who knew him personally and has met him, one thing he would do is give you a Bible quote or a Bible verse when you walk up to him and talk to him. He believed in God very strongly. He was very spiritual, and he studied the Bible front to back. There wasn't a Bible quote that this man could not quote. And he, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time, but like he really opened a lot of people's eyes with a lot of things because each time he interviewed about the evil, and he spoke about the evils of the world, spoke about how the industry is not meant to help the artist, but it's there to destroy the artist. Not all parts of the industry was there to benefit you. Half the time, having money doesn't even make you happy. It was just something to get you out of the situation that you were living through coming up, especially living here in New York, because he was only 50 years old. He was young.
Yeah.
He was really, really
Yeah.
young. And I can't even imagine not trying to understand why, why this happened, because literally he was performing still and planning a reunion tour with his group, the Rough Riders. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them either. Uh,
Yeah.
he was with the Rough Riders. He was planning a reunion with them. So it seems like a lot of the artists, and it's crazy that these all artists over the last couple of years have died at the age of 50. Like Whitney Houston died at age 50, DMX age 50, to the public, MJ age 50. So it's
Right.
like it's becoming a constant pattern. And then it's always somehow they want to tie drugs to these artists, even though half the artists had stopped doing them. And it just puzzles me because I'm like, okay, which is it? And they don't even try to understand that people go through these hardships in their life and in their lives, period. And they try to overcome them, but trying to overcome them in the public eye, there's no way to really shake any of this stuff that you're going through because you don't have time to yourself. You don't have time to focus and really think. Despite this man moved back to his hometown in New York, he still didn't have time to think because in the long run, he's a celebrity. He was known everywhere. I mean, a lot of people here don't know who he is, but he was really important to the hip hop community. He was a talented actor. He was a talented musician, writer. He was a father of, I think it was like 8 children. He has a large family. This man took care of his family, took care of.
I learned 17.
I'm sorry, I'm
17
reading this
children.
out. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. I learned 17.
Wow. So it's increased.
I think so.
Dang.
17 is a lot of kids.
He was definitely being fruitful and multiplying. Go ahead, DMX.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know, and it's really sad. I mean, and I am all for it. The family says that they're gonna sue the media because it's not helping. It's not helping them in their grief process. It's
No.
not doing DMX any favors. But I mean, before you even put out well, we already know since we're in the MJ community how the media twists things for their own narrative and to sell more, copies of whatever they're writing. But it's
Right.
just not right. You know, we don't know what that family has been through. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. His to be wife, how she felt like she probably was one of the persons, one of the people that the doctors approached, like, what, we need to make a decision very soon. Like, what do we do? Do we keep him on vital support or do we take him off? I can't even imagine how you must feel at that moment, when you have to put your signature or your autograph to actually end, not really the life, because that person is really not even there. Since, he was 30 minutes, they tried to revive him during 30 minutes. That means he was deprived of oxygen to anything, to any organ in his body for 30 minutes. So he would clearly have some brain damage afterwards if he would have made it, you know. So
Right.
to even think, how that would be for the family, just to make that hard decision, having small children, older children, it doesn't matter. It's still a person, it doesn't matter who you are.
I agree.
It's just not right. And I'm all for it. Shoot, I'll even sign petitions if they start going around. If they want to sue the media, go ahead.
Seriously. I mean, I heard a rumor last night, and I don't know how true this is, but I was told by the taxi driver that Jay-Z and Beyonce was planning on buying DMX's masters and handing them to his family.
Yeah, I heard that too. That they bought it back for like $10 million or
$10
something
million,
like that.
yeah.
They were giving it to the children. Yeah, I heard about that too.
I I'm shocked though because I didn't even know anybody else would try to get involved, but I'm glad because in the long run, you know what always happens with artists, and this is a shame that it always happens this way. Is that their stock ends up going up once they've passed. So if any
Yeah,
time is the right time to give those masters to his family, his children, now would be the time because we don't know what
exactly.
expenses they have after him being in the hospital for the amount of time he's been, funeral expenses, or anything regarding him, period. We don't know what it's costing, how much it's going to cost. And then on top of that, him being a celebrity and
Yeah, but I mean,
security,
even if of from everybody in the industry, because I've only seen loving messages towards the family, towards his family, his fiance's family. Everybody is giving just the outpour of love. I
right,
didn't know him. I didn't know him as a man. I knew him as DMX the artist. I never like dived into his like persona, not the stage persona, the private one. So I don't know
right,
what was going on in his private life. It's not my business. I never dived into it because, I don't feel connected to him like I feel to MJ. But I I I saw a couple of videos him rocking to MJ music a couple of weeks ago. I was like, wow, this this rough guy, with the voice, he had that rough voice, like, you know, and then him being all smiley and dancing to MJ and being all, he looked happy. And then all of a sudden things go sideways and there you are. And all of a sudden you're not here anymore. So I'm sure that everybody in the industry, whoever it is, from entertainers to singers to rappers, comedians, whoever, I'm sure that they will, you know, lean a helping hand if needed. I know that they're going to get their help if they need it to give him, the farewell that he deserves. But I don't know. It's just so, I don't know. What do I call this? It's kind of like weird, you know. Even though we don't
I
know him
agree.
personally, it's so weird to know that another one is gone again.
Yeah, but I do send my love, respect, and condolences to his
To the
family,
family, definitely.
and may he rest in peace. I mean, another talented musician gone. Still can't believe it.
Now
Rest,
since he became an angel now, he can look over. He can join baby girl up there. What everybody was saying on Facebook. I was like, wow,
they were really close, him and Aaliyah.
yeah, he really, he was hurt by her death. I remember that one.
Yeah, he wasn't the same, and he's always spoken about that he can't wait to see her again. That they're just only separated by this earth plane. They'll see each other in heaven. It's a shame, though. I still can't believe it. Another talented, good person gone. I know, like the guy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But rest in peace, Earl DMX Simmons.
Yes.
Seriously, I mean, that brought the my high energy down to a somber mood for a second because it's like, wow. I mean, each time I report or we report on any of this stuff, it shocks me every time because you never expect that people that I mean, it's not personal for everybody, but for me, he was like, and I know we all try to escape giving and accepting these comparisons, but the way we love MJ in pop music and R&B is the way people loved DMX in hip hop and rap
Exactly.
music. That's the way it was
Yes.
for the hip hop community. So to the hip
Yes.
hop community and the people who listen to rap music, this is like losing Michael Jackson all over again, only in the form of DMX. because that's how big he
Exactly.
was. He was like the original king of rap in the 90s. This was the king of rap, and I'm just really just still stuck. So forgive my, my stuckness. I don't even know if that's the word.
That's what.
Stuckness.
That's what.
Stuckness.
We'll make it work. We know how we do. You know how
We
we
make
do in
words
the
up
at
all
the
the
podcast.
time.
Yep. Stuckness is the new word.
Yeah,
Yes.
we always make up words my stuckness. Like seriously. Oh man. I
Yeah, but
mean,
I really do support, the family.
so do I.
If they do decide to sue the media, if they do decide to have an autopsy done or whatever to get him justice, if it was whatever negligence or whatever, and they want to find out what the real reason was, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Same here.
Yeah.
There was
But
one more
again, yeah.
there was one more thing that we wanted to talk to them about, Dove, about Kendrick Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard anything about this story but this stems, let me put his picture up. Just put it up real fast. I mean, this is more on the serious side than you're used to from the MCP, but I mean, we are starting to look into different things like unsolved cases and different topics that you guys wouldn't typically be used to us talking about. But here we go. I mean, this is one thing that I said that we definitely had to talk about because this is another situation that I can say really shocked me. Now, I don't know if you guys know about the case of Kendrick Johnson. He was found, and this is a serious topic, so if you guys are squeamish or anything like that, please step away now. If you can listen to it without being weirded out or scared or anything of that nature, please stay, listen, and tune into this. But here we go. We already lost two people. There we go. Oh man. As to be expected, because some people get nervous when they hear stories like this. But now the story of Kendrick Johnson. This happened back in January 2013, and he was found head first in the center of a wrestling mat in his high school gym. A bunch of students had found him inside the mats the following day after he was seen playing in the gym at his high school. This is all caught on video, which is crazy. Now, the story goes the day before he was found in the mat, he was playing in the gym. He had his gym shoes inside of the wrestling mat. It was rolled up, sitting along the wall. Someone said that he went inside to go get his shoes and he got stuck in there.
Mm-hmm.
But the facts that came out about the story showed that that was not actually true. They were trying to make it look like he died from, what the heck did they call it?
So he suffocated.
Yeah, what was asphyxia? That was the word that they used, and they ruled it
Yeah.
accidental. And of course, the media just let it be like, oh yeah, it was an accident. But in the long run, this was proven, even though it's still unsolved, but they're still trying to find evidence to prove that he was murdered and not died by an accident. Because if you've seen the condition of his corpse after it was pulled out, it looks like he was beaten. The
It
boy,
was heartbreaking.
yeah, it was crazy. The boy, and this is if you can see on the screen. Hold on, let me put the thing up on the screen so I can use the circle so you guys can see. Like, these are the gym mats that we have in every school, damn near every school that our children play with in gym class and have used. This young man, who was damn near 6 feet tall, I believe, was
Yeah.
found
And he
stuffed
was
inside.
only.
That's not possible. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Dove.
It's
Whew.
okay. And he was only 17. He was just a kid. He was
Yeah.
very talented at what he was doing. He loved basketball. He was a very outgoing young man. He was very nice and kind to everybody, and all of a sudden, you get a call. Being the parents, and someone tells you over the phone, "We found the body of your son." And then when the autopsies were done, it was ruled an accident. When after the investigations, they learned that certain organs were missing, and he was stuffed with newspaper. And that the family has been going through a very rough time and trying to figure out what happened, why were his organs missing. They've been fighting justice and for him to rest in peace finally. I don't care who ruled this accident. I rule it murder.
So do
Plain
I.
and simple. And it so happens that the two guys that were in an altercation with Kendrick, and it was seen, people saw that they were in an altercation. These were two white dudes, and they happened to be sons of one of the police officers. Come on.
They were seen having an altercation with him. And it's weird, the altercation that they had with him that was on that videotape seemed to have disappeared.
Yeah, and it was about a girl. One of the one of the guys was, I think, let me say allegedly was
Right.
dating a girl, and that girl was flirting allegedly with Kendrick. Probably that rubbed one of the guys the wrong way. They got into whatever altercation or word exchange, or and things got heated, and they beat the poor guy to death. That's what I think that happened. And they just stuffed his body into the mat so that nobody would find him. Of course, they're going to find him because, the body, starts decomposing and stuff like that. And it started smelling and blah, blah, blah. And that's how they found him. I mean, even his dad, just in order to show people in a video, shows how hard it is to even get inside, to even get your head inside of the little circle that the mats form when you roll them up. It's
Right.
physically impossible to fit in there. And just the way his sneakers were positioned when he was found, it made no sense. So to me, it was murder. And I do feel that this family deserves peace after, what is it now, 8 years? Yeah, 8 years. This happened in 2013.
What bothered me the most was there was footage from the gym that circulated all throughout the media, and then 1 minute you see Kendrick and a bunch of kids playing in the gym, and then next minute you see him walking away, like he's walking, I don't know what direction he was walking in, like towards the gym mats or something, and then all of a sudden the video cuts out, you don't see Kendrick anymore, and all you see is a bunch of kids, a different set of kids playing in the gym, as if that's a whole time frame later that they literally chopped and cut out that showed what actually happened to Kendrick. It's like the footage was cut. The same thing that happened with Elisa Lam, and the same thing that happened with Kanika Jenkins. These things that happen that are caught on video always seem somehow to get edited and cut, and these people never end up finding justice. But the only way that they end up getting justice is through people like us who choose to research and learn about them and try to bring light to the situation regarding these people, because it's messed up. Like, this kid did not deserve this. I mean, if there was issues with him and this other kid, I'm pretty sure that being that him and the other kid that had issues, that kid and his sibling probably jumped him. And that's my opinion. They probably jumped him. And who the hell can handle getting jumped on by two people? Fine, we've all gotten into fights when we were younger. I'm not going to act like I haven't. And they've always been man to man, mano y mano, as they say. But in this situation, I do believe that it started out as a one-on-one thing, and the brother of the other guy jumped in to jump on top of him, and they beat him to death.
Yeah, but I think one of the guys probably hit Kendrick from behind on his head or something to knock him out. Because I really don't believe that Kendrick would let himself get beat up by two. I'm sorry, I don't want to make this a race thing, but Kendrick did not look like a guy that would let himself get beat up by two white dudes. I'm sorry. It just doesn't seem right. So probably he got hit in the head to knock him out, and they did whatever. That's how I feel that it went down. Because there's no way in hell that you see two guys approaching you and you're not gonna get in defense mode.
Seriously. And
So I really believe
this happened, Dove, in front of other kids, and none of the other kids really spoke out.
it's
The ones that did speak out pointed out those two brothers as the ones that was fighting him, but nothing
yeah,
has come out of it.
no. And they kept it to themselves after they rolled him up in the mat and put him against the wall, standing up the mat and the body being stuffed inside already. Nobody went to the principal or to the authorities and say, you know what, this and this and this happened today at school. I witnessed it, or I heard about it, or I kind of saw something fishy going on. Maybe you guys can check it out. Nobody said something. So they are, in my eyes, they are just as, guilty as the actual perpetrators, in my eyes. So, and I'm actually very, very glad that his case is getting reopened. I'm really happy for the family. If this case gets reopened again and they get to the bottom of this, finally they can get, peace and you know have their peace with it.
I agree. Henry Louise says they harvested his organs or used them in one of their sick rituals. I think that is the case with a lot of these weird, and I hate to call it found footage, but these found footage situations where these instances are caught on tape, but the main part of what everybody wants to know what happened with is cut out of the video. And it's happened in too many cases over the last 20 years. It's getting scarier. And it's like you don't know what to do anymore. Like between Kendrick at school, I'm like, damn, I don't want to send my kid to school anymore because I can't trust it. Or with Kanika Jenkins, you can't even send your teenage child to a party because you don't know what could happen. Or Elisa Lamb,
You don't
you
know.
can't go on a vacation because you don't know what could happen. It's like it's crazy, never knowing what even though you shouldn't have to live that way, but it's
No.
the reality we live in.
Yep. And the sad part is that quote unquote justice doesn't do justice anymore. They take the side of the bad guy, let's say. That's what I've been seeing for the longest time right now. The 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 burglars or the killers or the whatever, the justice system takes their side. They're the victims. And the actual victim is kind of like pushed to the side and it gets, you know, like brushed off, like, oh, it was an accident or it was a suicide or it was an overdose or
Right.
uh, whatever, malfunction or mispractice or malpractice or whatever you want to call it, or how they say when you're undergoing surgery, right? You have to fill out papers in case something goes wrong so you don't sue the hospital. Oh, it went wrong. It got complicated. It was due to complications. They died. What? What do you mean? What complications? So you go in for a broken leg, according to them, you go into the hospital for a broken leg, and all of a sudden you wind up dead.
Seriously.
Come on, yeah, that happens every single day. So it's time to wake up, and I do feel that more of this stuff should have the attention that it needed. So
I
I'm
agree.
I'm again, yeah, again, I'm really happy for the Johnson family, and that their son's case is being reopened, and hopefully they get the answers that they're looking for. So this, his family and everybody else involved that cared about this young man and the family can move on, and Kendrick can grow his wings and finally be at peace.
I agree. Janessa says, what do you think about the police officers in Minnesota, everyone? I mean, I have no opinion about them after what happened with the George Floyd incident. That totally was messed up. And it's like police officers everywhere are going bonkers. And I'm not saying it's all of them, because I come from a family where there have been police officers and they were good, upstanding people. But it seems like the game of policing has totally changed over the last 20 to 30 years, where this whole thing with hurting citizens, doesn't matter about the race, black, white, it doesn't matter. Hurting citizens in general has become the benefactor of what policing is. They no longer seem to want to protect us, especially in Minnesota. I see that clearly. And what scares me the most is that they don't value anybody else's life but their own. All they care about is how fast they can draw a weapon before they ask any questions. That's not the way you police the community. You don't police the citizens that way, because we're the ones that actually pay taxes that fund your precincts and fund your jobs. And you're the ones that are killing the ones that are putting the money in your pockets when we're paying you for our tax dollars for protection. And it's disgusting. I am disgusted by it. I'm trying my best to keep my eye on the Derek Chauvin trial that's going on right now, but it's just so sad, so depressing, because in the long run, this might be just like every other case with these police officers who do wrong among the citizens. They end up getting away with it, and it really disgusts me. It really
probably.
does. I pray that he actually does go to jail for this, because nobody should be killed over any incident regarding racism from the police when they're not supposed to be living that way towards us. They're supposed to be doing their job and focusing on upholding the law. But unfortunately, we know in today's society, it's not going to happen. And we already know that racism has not gone anywhere. It's only gotten quiet.
Exactly. And just to mention something, just the other day, it was here on the news. There was a Mexican woman. The family chose to keep her name, not to mention her name. They want to keep her anonymous. But they did with her the same thing that they did with George Floyd. 4 police officers dragged her literally out of her car, and one of them holding her down, and the other one literally with his knee on her neck until she stopped breathing. And nobody talks about her. So whoever that lady is, my sympathy goes out to them as well. There are so many people that are not getting called by their names, or, in this case, I don't know what this woman's name is, but in other cases, we do know. And we're like, oh, it's not directly connected to me or whatever, so I don't care. That's the whole problem today. Everything should be, our problem, because it could happen to the guy next door to you. But what if the day after tomorrow it happens to you, or to someone close to your family or a friend? Because that's how it goes. This is all a circle. And one day it's your turn, and the next day could be the next one. So we should care about stuff like this, and karma does happen. So I do, if there's justice or if there's divine whatever, I do hope that, it happens for everybody who's been wrongfully murdered or done. How many innocent people are on death row? How many innocent people? I mean, everybody, blacks, whites, Latinos, Chinese people, I don't care. A lot of people are still on death row. They're fine. They're not getting the lethal injection or whatever. But it's like being buried alive. A life sentence on death row? Come on.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on with our world, but the woman that you're speaking about, there was another video that surfaced from Africa where a man had his neck literally crushed by a police officer there. It's like this whole pattern. I don't know. Is this an international police thing? Is this being in some secret police handbook that we don't know about? Some police Illuminati? I don't know. It just makes me really question and wonder because these events of apparently police crushing people's necks with their knees is going on in multiple places around the world and not just here in the US. It's scary.
It's
The police
everywhere.
don't value any of us anymore. It really seems like they don't really value us and they don't really care about us at all. They don't care.
No, they don't. And you know why it happens? Because what we talked about, they get away with it. They know that
Yeah.
they're going to get away with it, so it doesn't matter.
That's why I'm like, all the stuff we get to see on TV where Law and Order makes it look like, oh, if a cop does something wrong, they have to go through IAB, the Internal Affairs Bureau. Unfortunately, the Internal Affairs Bureau only helps these officers get the hell off. TV lies. These officers do not ever really get held accountable for what they do. And the ones that do, there's generally a light sentence involved. They're not ever given any of the amounts of time in prison the way a regular citizen would get. And it's a shame. It really is
It
a shame.
is.
All will answer for their action. No one gets away. I agree. I agree. Prayers for all the family. Yes, indeed. Hello everyone. What's up, Linda Johnson? You made it. What's up? I know it really is sad, Janessa. I agree. I mean, it's crazy. It really is. It just really makes me wonder what's really going on with our planet. Like, no matter what our colors are, black, white, Latino, Hispanic, Chinese, it doesn't matter what ethnicity, race, we're all human beings who
Mhm.
who bleed blood, shit the same, and die just the same. That's why
Yep.
we are entitled to equal respect because in the long run, no matter what our skin colors are, we all eat, sleep, shit, breathe, and die just the same as everybody else. Nobody dies differently. And I'm not talking about through weaponry or anything like that. I'm talking about just dying, period. There's no escaping that. So there has to be a time where respect has to be given. And it's unfortunately one of the times that respect is being skipped out on. I try to be respectful to everybody, to all my brothers and sisters on this planet, because if we're not respectful to each other, then we would have nothing but a world of chaos. And right now, all I'm seeing in a lot of these places, even during the pandemic, is utter chaos. And it's just scary to know that this is the world that we're left to deal with. And I don't know. And I saw someone comment earlier, I can't remember who it was, that it seems like we're living in biblical times. I do agree. A lot of stuff that's going on now seems very biblical tied. I may not know the Bible front to back, but I do know the back of the Bible very, very, very well. The final chapter, as they would call it. And it does seem like that. I mean, we don't get religious on the podcast. We've never done that. But it just does seem very odd. Our world is really just really messed up. And there's no way, shape, or form that we can avoid not acknowledging it. If we're not acknowledging it, we can't fix the problem. And if we can't fix the problem, more chaos will happen.
Yeah.
If you
I
don't,
don't care if you are pink with purple polka dots.
exactly.
Oh, that's
It's a
funny.
brainwashing program. Watch The Manchurian Candidate. Fiction tells the truth. I've only seen the recent one with Denzel, I think early 2000s. I think that's the one you're talking about with Denzel, right? Because I know that they had an original one, but I've never seen it, Henry.
I remember you telling me that, April. I'm so sorry.
Sorry to hear
That
that,
was
April.
horrible.
Wow, that's scary. I don't trust any of them.
Hmm. Me either.
Yeah, this is biblical. Nothing can stop what's coming, and nothing can stop what's happening. And the only thing we can do right now is learn to love each other a little more during these times because we don't know what to expect at all anymore. Yes, I see two. It is there. Seriously. What's up, Penny, Penny, Penny? Oh, man. I do research. That's why I'm here for. Exactly. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up our show for today. I mean, I know we had a lot of it started out lighthearted and then it got very sentimental. I had to get my thoughts together mid podcast when we talked about DMX. Uh Not only that, the whole Kendrick Johnson situation and answering Janessa's question regarding what's going on currently with the Minnesota police. I mean, like I said, the only justice that can be given is the justice of the people. Because in the long run, the criminal justice system doesn't do nothing but value the criminal justice system. So the people need to be the actual people. We're not talking about the people of the government. Us. We need to be the benefactors of these criminals that hide behind the law. Seriously. Like we need to be the one. But we're sending you lots of love, April, because that's a crazy, harrowing story, and I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that your family had to experience such tragedy, because nobody deserves that at all. Period. I'm gonna look that up tonight, then, Henry Louise. I've never seen it. I've never gotten to see that. If you really want to know, read "Behold a Pale Horse," book by Bill Cooper. He exposed this long ago, and they killed him for it. I'm gonna look that up. Well, can you inbox me the name of that book? Because I know I'm gonna end up missing it. Look it up on the marketplace. But we do appreciate you guys for rocking out with us every week. We tried something new this week, and we thought people were gonna run for cover when we started getting a little bit on the morbid side, talking about unsolved cases. But this is something that Dove and I has taken a passion into, and we do want to share different things with you outside of the MJ community and just stuff all MJ. But we are still an
Yep.
MJ podcast. And we love you guys for rocking out with us today for this discussion because there will be more discussions on other unsolved cases coming in the future. But Dove, do you have anything that you want to say to our viewers before we go?
No, just as usual. Thank you guys for joining, for listening, for bearing with us. If we made you feel some kind of way, we're sorry. We didn't mean to, but these topics really need to be discussed.
They
And
did.
this was kind of like two, um, DMX and Kendrick were just two things that were kind of heavy on our hearts, and it needed to be said. So here you go. So thank you guys for joining, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, indeed. Much love, guys. We love you, and we will be
We're
seeing
out.
you guys for the next episode. We're out of here.
Later.
Good Sunday, folks.
Yes.